At current rates of decline, scientists predict our seas could be without fish within 40 years. With 1 billion people eating fish as their primary source of animal protein, and over 200 million dependent on fish as their only livelihood, that could mean a humanitarian disaster. I'm Oliver Steeds on the west coast of Scotland, investigating how we can restore our collapsing fisheries and our ocean's health.
This is Scotland's first fully protected marine reserve, one of only 3 in the whole of the United Kingdom. It was established in 2008 in Lamlash Bay on the Firth of Clyde, after a decade of campaigning by a voluntary community-led organisation called COAST, the Community of Arran Seabed Trust.
Howard, what's the plan today?
Well, the plan is that this morning we're going to take you for a dive within the No Take Zone.
What are the key things we're going to look at?
A more complex seabed, so that basically after 3 years of no fishing, no extraction of any form, no dredging of the seabed, we're starting to see the kind of shoots of life coming from it, in both seaweeds, macroalgae, to lots of animals like hydroids and bryozoans and soft corals and sponges, hopefully.
The goal of the No Take Zone is to help regenerate the local marine environment and enhance commercial shellfish and fish populations.
Got lots of different things, including this. This is an argon mask. I'm just going to have a microphone in, so Howard can talk to us. There you go. Good luck.
At first, the bottom looks like a desert, caused by scallop dredging and trawling, which plough up the seabed, hoovering up everything in their path. But then, a few signs of regeneration.
Most of the growth you see on this little boulder here are hydroids. So they come in many shapes and forms. And what we've seen over the last 3 years is that the rocks and boulders in certain areas are helping with the spread of all these different species and all these animals out across into the sand and gravel substrate. So you can see the complexity of the seabed here. It's really just covered in hydroids and red algae that provides habitats for a huge array of fish, shellfish, young eggs.
And then one of the most beautiful sights, a free-swimming scallop.
Over the last 2 to 3 years of protection, as the scallop numbers have increased, not only in numbers, but the size of the scallops within the No Take Zone.
In a spot close to the shore that has always been naturally protected from trawlers and dredgers, Howard shows us what the seabed should look like.
Here we've got a little velvet crab, if you look just over that boulder, Oliver. Here we've got a nice, large, spiny starfish. Here we've got a pincushion star.
At 10 metres, we started to edge into the kelp forest.
And in amongst it, there's all kinds of brown filamentous algae, seaweeds that create lots of three-dimensional space for literally hundreds and thousands of both small and large creatures, all very, very important both in the food chain and in the complexity of the marine environment.
So that's a healthy environment.
That's getting healthier.
There we go.
Just needs a few more years, and an odd decade will help it greatly.
Howard and his colleagues are not stopping with the No Take Zone. They're also proposing a marine protection area, 100 times bigger, but still only 8% of the Clyde.
What's the difference between the No Take Zone and the proposed marine protected area?
The difference is that in the No Take Zone there's no extraction of any marine life at all. The marine protected area, certain forms of fishing like creoling and angling and scallop diving would continue, but the forms of fishing like scallop dredging, bottom trawling would be prohibited. That's our proposal.
What will be the benefit to the fishing community?
There are many, many benefits to the fishing community, both in the short term and the long term. It contains two really important spawning areas for herring. The overspill from these areas mean that they'll be getting better catches, and hopefully within 5 or 10 years they may be able to actually start fishing fish. You can remember in the Clyde, all we've got left to fish are prawns and scallop.
And how many more jobs will that create?
Well, the potential, I think, in the Clyde, even going back on figures from 20, 30 years ago, you know, up to 300 people were employed in it.
David Curry is one of the local scallop fishermen and mussel farmers.
I'll take you out now, that's not a problem. A good day for it.
What do you think of the No Take Zone?
Yeah, very good. I mean, what Don McNeish and Howard done there together, it was really good.
Would you support the marine protected area?
If a farmer stops ploughing his fields, the fields will start growing naturally into whatever they want to do, so it's basically makes sense. That'll give juvenile fish right round the area plenty more ground to grow, you know.
In fact, biomass increases of over 400% have been documented within marine reserves. And if key breeding grounds are protected, fish stocks recover. Good news for fishermen in surrounding areas. But scientists now believe that if we are to restore the health of the oceans, we need to protect at least 25% of them. Today, a little over 1% are protected.
The biggest stumbling block, not just in Scotland, but in the UK, in fact, probably the whole world, is the complete lack of political will. The short-termism of politicians and fisheries ministers is, to be honest, absolutely unbelievable, because the economics of marine protected areas are well proven. We just need to look to the future, and future generations, future fishermen. These things are proven, they work.